Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Lesson number 8, part 2, exercise 3. Ta'ammal ma yali. Basically, it means reflect on the following, and also we can see learn the isnad of the verb in the madi. So basically, isnad is conjugation, and we have learned it already. Now we will see basically what it means when we talk about every verb has a doer. So what does that mean? Like where the doer is. So as we have learned that we start the past tense from the third person singular, which is dhahaba. Dal, ha, ba. These are the root letters. So when we say dhahaba, so dhahaba is failun, it's a verb, and damirun mustatirun is fa'ilun, is the doer. So what does that mean? That there is damirun mustatirun. Mustatirun means hidden. So that means there is a hidden damir inside it, which is the doer. So basically, what is that? That is in fact huwa. So huwa, that is inbuilt inside it, that is the doer of the action. So when we say Bilalun dhahaba, Bilalun mubtada and dhahaba khabar. So dhahaba is the fail, is the verb, but the grammarians say the verb basically has the doer, which is huwa inside it. So huwa is the khabar. So dhahaba, we can see that the doer, and the mir mustatir is the fa'il. Fa'il means doer, the doer of the action. We know that every verbal sentence consists of two things, which is the verb, of course, and then we have the doer, because a verb cannot take place by itself. There has to be someone to perform the action, because we know verb means action, and then there has to be someone who has to perform the action. So verb always consists of a doer, and doer is the fa'il. And verb is what? Verb is fail, as we know, and we have been learning about it for a long time now. And dhahabu, again, fail over here is the wow. The wow that is here is basically the fa'il. As we know that dhahaba is the fail, so this is the verb, as we can see over here, and the doer here is basically wow. And then there is an alif next to this. This is called alif al-fariqah. Alif al-fariqah. That is to differentiate between, because if we have dhahabu, and when we learn the verbs more, we will see that some verbs end with wow. So what does that mean? To know that when we have alif after that, that means this is alif for the past tense, for the third person masculine plural. So past tense, third person masculine plural, and alif is added to that. Whereas we know that the dual is dhahaba, and for the dual, that the doer is inside it, and we will say alif is the alif of doer. Alif is the alif of doer. So dhahaba is fail, and fa'il will be the alif. As in dhahabu, the fa'il is wow, right? And in dhahaba, the fa'il is alif. So dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu. Now you remember the past tense conjugation? In past tense conjugation, for one person we say dhahaba, and for two persons we say dhahaba, and for more than two we say dhahabu. So as we can see over here, this alif is the doer. Alif is the doer. So in number one, the doer is hidden, mustatir. In number two, the doer is alif. And in number three, the doer is wow. In number four, which is dhahabat, and we know that in dhahabat, again, the doer is damir mustatir. What is the doer? Damir mustatir. As we know that in form number one and form number four, the doer is hidden, damir mustatir. So dhahaba fail, and this ta sakin. So this ta is always sakin. And dhahabat, kharabat, kharajat, nasarat, ساعدت. So this ta is always sakin, and this is called alamatut ta'nith. So basically, ta'nith means feminine. So this is the sign of feminine, alamatut ta'nith. So this ta is the ta of feminine, and the doer inside is it is again it is mustatirun. Yani the file is hidden inside it. Damirun mustatirun. So number one and number four have the doer that is inbuilt, that is hidden. Whereas in number two, the doer is alif. In number three, the doer is waw. Again, in number four, the doer is hidden. And in number five, it will be dhahabata. So in dhahabata, again, we can see that the doer is alif again. So here, dhahabata, the doer is again alif over here. So in dual nouns, or in dual verbs, in fact, in dual verbs, the doer is always alif. And then when we talk about form number six, which is dhahabna, in dhahabna, the file, the doer is noon. Noon is the doer. Dhahab is the fail, and then the file we know here is the noon. In dhahabta, the doer is ta. In dhahabta, the doer is ta. As we know that the fail is dhahaba, in fact, and then we have the doer, which is dhahabta. Ta is the doer. Again, we have dhahabtuma. So whenever you talk about the dual, we need to know that in dual, this alif is the doer. Alif is the doer. Whether it is the present tense or the past tense doesn't matter, but alif is the doer. So here we have number 7, and then here we have number 8. And we know that 8 happens to be twice. So, and then similarly, 2 happens to be twice, dhahaba and dhahabata, and similarly dhahabtuma happens twice. So basically it will be 8 plus 9, in fact, and then here this is our this is number 1, and 2 plus 3 here we can see, and this is 8, 9, and then we have dhahabtum, antum dhahabtum. So in here we can see that tu is the doer, and meme is alamatul jama', which is used for all. So dhahabtum, you all went. So here tu is the doer, and meme is alamatul jama'. And then we have dhahabti, yani anti dhahabti. So in dhahabti, we have ti is the file, as we can see over here. So these are the doers that are inbuilt in every verb. And dhahabtunna, in dhahabtunna, again we have tu, and then file is the tu, and then noon with tashdid is alamatul jama'. You all ladies went. Dhahabtu, again tu is the doer, and then we have dhahabna. In dhahabna, na is basically the file. Not only alif, na together, noon and alif, they are the doer. So these are basically our all 14 forms of the verb, and I'm sure you have learned so far, and you have them in the beginning of the lesson as well. So learning Arabic is a combination of two things. Number one, it's learning through dialogues and through the text and through the exercises, the way the Sheikh Rahimahullah has taught us. And then the second way, any language that you want to learn, you have to memorize. Memorization is very, very important. So learning for Arabic, you have to memorize the conjugation, and you have to also read the dialogues and do the exercises. So it's basically a combination of two. عين الفاعل فيما يلي. Now you have to specify the doer in what follows now. So in خرجت, in kharajtu, we can see I went. So tu is the doer. Then we have jalasna, and we have learned that in jalasna we sat, and na is the doer. Then we have sami'ati, and in sami'ati we see that ta is the doer. So kharajtu yani ana kharajtu, and kharajna yani nahnu kharajna. And then we have Smeti yani anti smeti. So basically these the damair are inside it, as we can see over here. And similarly, sharibtunna, we have learned here that 2 plus noon, that is noon al jama'a. So sharabtunna here is basically antunna sharabtunna. And then we have dakhalu, so wow is the doer, and alif is just to differentiate, alif al fariqah. Then we have hafidhna, and again we can see that noon over here is the doer. Akaltum, 2 plus mim, tum is the doer over here. Meme is for used for the plural, right? Antum akaltum. And similarly in sharabtunna, noon is noonul jama'a, that is used for the plural. Fataha, very important. Where is the doer? Damir mustatir. Taqdiruhu huwa. So this is how we say in Arabic. Damirun mustatirun, hidden damir. Taqdiruhu huwa, which is huwa. Fahimtunna, again easy to understand. Ta, and then we have the noon with al jama'a. Fahimtunna, katabta, ta is the doer. Ghasalat, again ta sakin, ta utanith. This is used for the feminine. So if this is used for the feminine, then where is the doer? Again, damirun mustatirun, taqdiruhu hiya. So for feminine we say hiya, and of course for masculine we say huwa. So in fataha, basically it is huwa fataha. So huwa is the mustatir, and ghasalat hiya is the mustatir. It is the hidden damir inside it. Laibu, in fact, why here is the doer, and dakhala again damirun mustatirun, taqdiruhu huwa. So dakhala yani huwa dakhala over here. Darabat, again ta as-sakina, ta utanith. So we can see damirun mustatirun, taqdiruhu hiya, the hidden damir inside it. So 1 and 4 have the hidden damir inside it, whereas the rest are either you can recognize through the symbol like ta or tu or ti, or we can recognize them when we use the damair with them, like anta antuma with them. So there are two ways to recognize them. Min al-damair al-muttasilah, the connected damair. So learn the inseparable or the connected damair pronouns that are attached to the past tense. At-ta'u kama fi dhahabta. So ta is always inseparable. We cannot separate it. Dhahabti, anti dhahabti, anta dhahabta, anti dhahabti, ana dhahabtu, and antum dhahabtum. Again, ta is inseparable. And in dhahabtunna, ta is inseparable. So basically, ta, as we can see here, is the doer in all the forms of the verbs that end with ta, as we can see here. However, we have learned that ta sakina is not the doer. Only the mutaharrik ta is the doer. So you see the difference? Whenever ta is mutaharrik, it has fatha or kasra or dhamma or dhamma or dhamma on it, then it will be ta ad-doer, the ta of the doer. Al-waw, as we can see here, kama fi, like in dhahabu, so we have waw. An-noon, as we have in dhahabna, so the noon. These are the pronouns that are inseparable. We cannot separate them from the verb. And then we have na, as we have the dhahabna, so we have na over here. And what about the others? In others, damir is mustatir, or we call that damir mustatir, or in some cases we say al-bariz. تأمل ما يلي, learn the following, or then reflect on the following. So أين حامد, where is Hamid? Kharaja, he left. And when we say kharaja is fail, and al-fa'il, what is the fa'il? Does anyone remember? Damirun mustatirun, taqdiruhu huwa. So when we say kharaja, that means huwa kharaja. So here huwa is the doer. And when we say aina aminatu, we say kharajat. And in kharajat, we know that fi'l is kharaja. Ta is ta'ut ta'nith or alamat ta'nith. So where is the doer? Again, al-fa'il is al-damir al-mustatir, taqdiruhu hiya. So in dhahaba, the doer is huwa, which is hidden, and in dhahabat, the doer is hiya, which is also hidden. Intaha ad-darsu bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, we have completed our lesson number 8. And inshallah, we will meet again in lesson number 9. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.